Hi, welcome to my office. I don't know if I've done a video up here that's not a Patreon video, that's just on my channel, but hello. I am in my office right now. It's right after 4 o'clock, still working away. Lily's whining because anytime after 4 she thinks it's dinner time, but I did get my nails done today. Look how pretty. It's been a month since I got them done, so I got them done in this color, more to match Catherine Cow's new release, but it's a little more like tealy than I wanted, but I picked this color out because they didn't have like a more blue. It was either like blue or teal. It wasn't like an in-between like what Glimmers is. But I have had a very busy day yesterday. Don't want to talk about it. I had a lot going on yesterday and I was really stressed because like my video editing software wasn't working and I'm making videos for something, and the exporting was exporting it at 600 megabytes and I had set it to do 2 gigabytes, and I don't know why it's not exporting correctly, and my camera has never done that before. So love that for me. But I am here to start a new vlog because I am collabing with Samantha for Books with Samantha. We are feeling each other's genres. So she is reading small town romances and I'm reading some why choose romances, and I have some that I'm very excited to read. Pretty sure she's already done with her vlog and I'm just starting, but I've actually finished a book. I finished Shamrocked because I was like looking into the ones I could read and I saw that my library had this audio, and it's short. It was 4 hours and it sounded fun. There was like a gargoyle and a leprechaun and like motorcycle people. I gave it 3 stars. This one was just a fun time, and what was a little annoying, so the heroine like woke up in bed with this like statue and she's like, this must have been from the bar I went to, and the friend was like, that bar doesn't exist. And so they like retrace her steps and try to find the bar, because then she's like possessed into painting things because there's someone trapped in the gargoyle statue and she has to help free him, and then falls in love with like 5 different guys in the process. And it was fine. The heroine though is plus size and she constantly compared herself to her best friend and was always like, why would these guys like me? Like, I'm standing right next to my gorgeous best friend. And she said it over and over and over again in a 4-hour book. So I was a little annoyed with her constantly comparing herself to her best friend, but it was fun. But it was a 3-star read. So she did end up with different kinds of people, like a leprechaun was in there. Yeah, they just had to free this guy out of this thing, and it's like every time it was like her destiny to do it, and other people have tried and failed. So that's that one. But I did start Groupie by C.M. Stunich, and this one is a contemporary why choose, where she is with all these band members. So it starts out where she is like both her mom and her dad are dead, and so she needs to make her way across the country. She's got to go to New York for something, but she's broke, and so she had these concert tickets her ex who cheated on her gave her, so she wants to scalp them. She goes to the concert, gets 200 bucks for them, and then like wins a contest where the singer like found her in the parking lot. I was like, you won here, and like got her free tickets. So then she goes into the concert, meets the hero, and I guess it's gonna be her falling in love with all the band guys. So it's long. This one's a 13-hour audio and it's very long, but she's already hooked up with one of them and I'm an hour and a half into the book. So it'll be interesting to see how it goes. We'll see. I'm enjoying it so far. I do really want to read, though, physically I'm going to read Emily Rath's. Samantha told me to start with the novella, so I'm going to start with the novella. It's like 120 pages. And then read the other book, which is like 600 pages. It's so long. And then I have a Beauty and the Beast retelling. I'm going to put it here. Very, very excited to read that. Those are my 3 physical books for this vlog. We'll see if I end up getting to another audio. It might take me a while to get through this one, but I'm very excited to read some Why Choose Romances. I'm just in the mood right now. So that's what this vlog is. Wish me luck on work because I gotta go back to working because I gotta figure some stuff out. But yeah, that's my day so far. I got a break for about an hour for my nails and I'm back to work. So I'm super far ahead on recording videos, like all the videos this week. It's Tuesday. Everything through Saturday is already filmed and uploaded, ready to go, and to my patrons to watch early because I have a big project I'm working on that involves filming and editing that I'm just a tad bit stressed over. But it'll be fine. I will be fine. I got to read my Catherine Cow's book yesterday and I absolutely loved it, and I'm ready to start this vlog. So hopefully I have time to read. We shall see. But I gotta go back to work, and I'll talk to you maybe tonight or tomorrow after I've read some of that Emily Rath book. Hi, dear stars. Such a cute head dog. Hello, everybody. Let me actually just set you on my bed. It is today Wednesday? Since I started working from home, I have like no idea what day it is. I think it's Wednesday. It does help. I post every morning a photo of my tea at my desk and I put the day of the week more as a reminder to myself. But it is Wednesday. I just got done working and it's 8:50. I had a meeting with someone that was a very, very exciting meeting, but they are on the West Coast. It had to happen that late, but it was such a good meeting and I'm so, so excited for things to come. But I have read a little bit more of my book. I made myself take a break. So I knew my meeting was at 6 and it was 2.5 hours. So between 5 and 6, I made myself take a break from work and I read some more. So I have my gorgeous Pucking Around cover on my Oasis because I messaged Kindle support and asked them to take my ads off. You normally have to pay $20 I think for that, but I got it for free. And I am 9% into this book, which means I'm 75 pages into this book, which is typically like, you know, a quarter of the way into a normal book. But I'm 9% in and I really, really like it. So I didn't even tell you, I finished the novella. I started it last night, fell asleep really early. I don't know why I was so tired last night. And then I read a lot of it on my run today. I have been running on the treadmill lately so I could read more ebooks because I've been really slow physically reading. I mean, it's almost 9 o'clock now and I'm like, I could literally just like go to bed now. I don't want to, but I could. Miss Darcy's right next to me looking like a cutie. I think Lily's still downstairs, but I read the novella beforehand because Samantha, I told her I was going to be reading this and she's like, did you read the novella? I was like, no. And she said Lacey had read Pucking Around without the novella and was fine. And I was like, oh, I mean, it's short, I'll read it. It ended after like 65%. The rest of the novella is actually a sneak peek into book 1. So I thought I still had 30% left of this book and I didn't. So I read that really quickly and I loved it. I normally am not a novella person, and did I think it was necessary? Kind of, because I feel like it really built up. What I love about, when I was talking to a friend about this, I love about Emily Rath is that she is really focusing on individual relationships. So Rachel, I think is her name, had a one-night stand with one of the guys, hockey player in Seattle. Amazing, like earth-shattering, like we have such a strong connection, I cannot get over you. But they like acknowledge that they're going their separate ways. They're not going to tell each other their names. They're calling it quits. But it was like the most amazing night of their lives. Like they had such an intense connection and just got each other and really liked each other. So then she left in the morning, didn't look back. Now she just got a job working for the Jacksonville Rays, which is a hockey team in Florida, and she is a doctor and she wanted to get this fellowship that would pair her up with the team. She lost it, but that person who got it ahead of her ended up not being able to do it, and I don't want to spoil why. They can't do it, so she was first up to like runner up, whatever. Like she would step in if someone couldn't, so she doesn't get a choice in where she's placed. Basically it's you get this or nothing. So she's like, heck yes, absolutely. I loved how excited she was because she was like, hockey players get such brutal injuries, this is gonna be so much fun to work for them, since she is like in physical therapy. And so she arrives and immediately has a connection with the guy who picks her up, who is the equipment manager for the team, and he used to be a hockey player and he made it big into the NHL and he was super good, but literally minutes into his first game ever of his career, he shattered his knee. So he acknowledges he can't play anymore. I love their connection. I love how things are playing out between them, and I'm like, yes, please. So the fact that I'm rooting for her to be with these guys, it's kind of like a love triangle where you don't have to pick who you want her to be with. Love triangles can get so angsty because you're like, who is she gonna be with? I like both guys. I want her to be with both of them. I don't know if I can choose. I don't even have to choose. She is falling madly in love with 2 different men and has such a really special connection with each of them and gets along with them so well and has a good sexual chemistry with them. And she doesn't have to choose. She's gonna be with both of them. I don't know if there's gonna be more. I'm assuming there's more in this why choose scenario, but I don't know. I am loving it so far, so we're gonna see how it goes, but I have more to read. My goal is to finish this by tomorrow so that I can read the other one, so that I can read something else after for a book club for my Patreon I have on Monday. So we'll see. I haven't listened to any more of Groupie yet. I haven't had time to. I have no time to read anymore, so hopefully I can get a lot of reading done after work. Oh, Lily's gonna come up now, but we'll see. I'm gonna do all my skincare and brush my teeth and get into bed and read this book, and hopefully I don't fall asleep because I want to read this book more because it's so good. But I will definitely run tomorrow and read more while I run. Hi guys, it is Saturday. I've actually had a really productive day. It is already almost 1:30. I'm about to head over to my parents' house. I am helping babysit my nephew, so he is in town. I don't remember why my brother and his wife are in town. It might be a wedding, it might be a birthday party, I don't know, but my parents are babysitting my nephew, so my sister and I are going over to hang out as well. And I've gotten a lot done though, so I have been swamped with work with this week, like to the point where it's a little stressful, but it's just like for the next 2 weeks there's a big project I'm working on that will hopefully be done soon. But I have just felt like my space has been very cluttered. So this morning, and like part of that's because I'm doing some filming things for this project and I have to film in my office, and my office is my loft, and filming stuff is everywhere and I can't like put it anywhere else for 2 weeks, so that space just feels very cluttered and it's making me feel stressed. So I wanted to declutter other spaces that I could control, so I went through my closet and really reorganized things and got rid of a lot of things. So I feel really good, and I felt like I could do that because I could listen to my audiobook. So I am actually 30 minutes away from the end of Groupie, and I don't know how I feel about it. I had like 7 hours left this morning. I walked my dogs with my sister this morning after I worked out. I was reading Pucking Around on the treadmill though, which I will talk about in a second. But this book is very much focused on the relationships. So there's not really an external plot. The only plot that we were leading to was the fact that like she's gonna be leaving them after a certain point of the tour, and one of the guys has a girlfriend. That's the plot, and she's like really into the guy with the girlfriend too. So she's already sleeping with 4 of them. I'm pretty sure there were 4, unless there were 3. I don't remember the number. I usually have a hard time remembering how many people are involved in it unless they are all really well developed, like Pucking Around is. So this one pretty much jumped into the spice immediately. Like I was an hour into the audiobook and she already was hooking up with like at least 2 of them, and I think she slept with 3 of them in one night separately. And then it's all like, well, she's gonna stick around and they all like her, and then she really likes the other guy, but he's got a girlfriend, he's already cheated on her before, he doesn't want to do it again. And I feel like the drama with this girlfriend was very obvious from the beginning. Like as soon as they introduced her and something that was going to happen, I was like, well, obviously this is going to happen, and it did. So that felt like very predictable, and I don't love how pretty much every female character in here is just like vindictive and wanting to sleep with the guys, but only the heroine can do that. So like a lot of them are very villainous. Like the guy's girlfriend's very villainous, and the manager girl for the tour, I don't remember like her actual job, but she is constantly trying to sabotage the heroine. And so I just like don't love when books have like every other female character is like a villain and only the heroine has a right to be with the guys. I'm like, I mean, I don't know how I feel about that. Like everyone's trying to sabotage her and jealous of her, and I don't like it when we like tear down other women, like every woman in the book. So, and it's also really long. I'm like, for a book that has like no plot, why is this 13.5 hours long? So I mean, like the guys are all have their damage too. Her dad's dead. One of the guys murdered the person who murdered his mom, and like lots of things happen in this book, but nothing really like plot wise is driving it. So I'm not like loving it. It is a lot of spice, like tons of spice in this book, and I just wanted a little bit more like something happening. So I don't know what I'll give it. I'm like more so on the 3-star with this book right now. But I think it's because I'm also reading Pucking Around, and this book is just doing it so well. Though I've heard from friends that Pucking Around is too long. So I've heard it slows down at like 50-60%, which is where I'm at. So I'm a little nervous, but what Emily Rath does so well is she is really building up each individual relationship. In the novella, we got her and Jake, and literally they're soulmates. Like from the moment they meet and like have their one night stand, it's like there is just an incredible connection between them. Then she individually meets Caleb and is like, oh my god, like he is such a damaged soul, I guess, and they have an instant connection as well, separate from Jake, because she doesn't know that Jake is there yet, because her and Caleb are neighbors because they're both working for the team. Then she realizes that Jake is on the team she's working for, and they quickly realize there's something going on between her and Jake and her and Caleb and Jake are best friends. So that like naturally develops into something, though Caleb has a lot to work through to like accept that he's not just like a third wheel, that like he's part of the relationship. And I love that depth to this romance. I really love that aspect. And then individually, she is working on her relationship with Mars, who is the goalie, and that's blossoming. Like that's the focus of the plot right now, about 50% of the way through. And I feel like there's just so much of this to really focus on. And she's also dealing with a conflict with Mars because he might be injured and he's trying to hide it, and she's trying to get him to trust her to help him. So the plot is like the hockey, and I really like that so far. So I am loving Pucking Around. I mean, like, it's super spicy. Like, we've had some group scenes with her, Caleb, and Jake. I heard there's nothing with the four of them, just those three, and then just her and Mars separately. But now it's like, oh my gosh, wait, but like, I'm already in a relationship with Jake and Caleb. Like, would I add on a third person to that? And so I really like that. She is taking care, the author is taking care of each individual relationship and really building it up, and not just like, great, these four guys want to sleep with you, let's just all sleep together. And that's what happened in Groupie. It wasn't really developed before they started hooking up, and like before they were like, well, I guess we're just gonna have all of us. Like, it was a real discussion in Pucking Around. So I'm really enjoying Pucking Around. I also really love sports though, so I love the hockey in here, and it's just really good. And there's like a lot of her also to Mars, so I really like him. I'm calling him Mars because that's his nickname. I don't remember his actual name, but I need to get going soon. We're leaving in 5 minutes. I did watch the women's soccer game yesterday against Vietnam, and it was so good. I'm a little annoyed at everybody saying how like bad they were, the women's team. They won 3-0, but Vietnam was fighting in that game, and that goalie fought for her life during that game. So it was good, and I'm excited for more soccer, and hopefully I finish this vlog today. We'll see. I'm obviously gonna finish Groupie today. Like I said, it's like a 3-star read, but I am hopefully gonna finish Pucking Around today. I have 45% left, which is like over 300 pages. I'm just gonna try to read while I'm at my parents' house, and the nephew's crawling around. He's not even 1 yet, so there's only so much you can do with a not even 1-year-old, but that's the plan today. I will probably update you guys when I'm back tonight, and we'll see how these books go. Hopefully Pucking Around stays good. Like right now it's a 5-star read, but we will see if it continues. Hello everybody, it is 4 o'clock on Sunday, which is exactly when I wanted to finish this vlog because I have to edit it to post it tomorrow. But I did finish Pucking Around. I think I'm gonna give it 4.5 stars. So like, reading it, going up to like 90%, I was like, okay, this is 4 stars. Like, it's a really good story, but I like really feel the length because it took me all week to read. But the end was so good, and like the more it went on, I like didn't mind the ending and how everything wrapped up, how much the guys like showed her how much they loved her and like made it work. I loved it so much. And I think like I know the author talks about how like it's necessary for the length because it's basically like 4 romances is one. It's Rachel's relationship with each of the individual guys, so that's 3, and then it really focuses on Caleb and Jake's relationship too, and stuff that they were dealing with that. So I get why it was that long, but it could have been shorter. Like, it didn't need to be that long, but I get why it was that long, if that makes sense. But I loved the relationships. I loved how each of them were developed. I like believed every single one. I believed that it could actually work. And especially with Mars coming into the picture, like, I believed his role too, and it was so funny. Like, I was laughing out loud at some parts. I loved them. Like, all of them had such distinct personalities and such distinct relationships with her and among each other, and we're building up Tess and Langley's book so well, so I'm excited for their book. And I loved all the hockey in it, and I loved her role in it, and just the ending was so good. Like, the last 10%, I loved it. I just sat here reading the entirety of the last part, and it was super, super cute. The last 10% flew by. I loved everything about it. I loved how it wrapped up, and with them, I was like, I honestly wouldn't mind reading more. Even if they're happy, like, I want to read more about them. They were so cute, and I loved it so much. So initially I was like, 4-star read, solid, as I was getting to the end, because I was like, oh man, this just keeps on going and going and going. But then the ending, 4.5 stars. I don't think it's a complete 5-star, because I was like, this book was never ending, but so good. So out of all of them in this video, read this one. I read, what, 3 books? I can't read that fantasy, but it is Helen Elizabeth. I can put the photo here if you want to check it out. It's definitely on my TBR, but I had so much fun reading these Why Choose Romances. Go check out Samantha's video. She's reading a ton of small town romances, and I'm pretty sure she loved one of my favorites, so that makes me super happy, and I'm glad I took her recommendations. I think, though, the only one I read in this book that was her recommendation was Pucking Around, and I loved it. So if you're not following Samantha yet, go follow her, because she's amazing, and give me your Why Choose recommendations. I want to read more, because like, this is the mood I'm in right now. So let me know what I should read next, and let me know your favorites. But that's all I have. As always, thank you so much for watching, and have a good day.